Hey, everybody, good morning. Ready to rock and roll today? Let's do it. I listened to a podcast with the guy who wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. I don't feel like swearing first thing in the morning, so. But the book was hugely successful, sold over 10 million copies, and it changed the author's life. And the guy said that he fell into a huge depression when the book became successful. I mean, he worked his whole life wanting and dreaming of a huge number one best-selling book, and then he got it. And royalty checks of huge amounts started pouring in, and he just didn't know what to do with himself. It was always the journey, uh, the striving for something, the working for something that, captivated him. And the host of the show echoed the same thing. He had built up a really successful company and sold it, for tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars that went into his pocket. And he fell into a big depression afterwards because it was always, the working on building this company to one day sell it, building it to one day sell it. And then it happened, and he's just like, now what? Now what do I do with my life? And so the moral of that story is, it's the journey, it's the daily grind, it's the work. You can only sit on a beach with a cocktail in your hand for so long before it becomes old. The guy who wrote that book did that for 3 years, and he's like, "What the hell am I doing? I gotta get back to work. I gotta start doing something again." You get to the top of the mountain, you don't stop climbing mountains. You go find a new mountain to climb, and so always be in pursuit of something, no matter what age you are. That's what gives life zest. I started the podcast just, I need constant action to, make life exciting and fulfilling and have meaning. And that's what you got to do. I got I am booked through July. I'm into August now with booking guests. I listened to another podcast the other day with ex NFL player Terry Crews. He became, a movie star, game show host, really built up, muscular, big dude. And his whole life was a lie, he said. He was raised in an incredibly violent, toxic family. His father was just a menace. And Terry never turned to drugs or alcohol to cope with how he was raised, but he turned to pornography. And pornography was his escape and his go-to. And he watched pornography like every free moment he could get. And it eventually led him to do the unthinkable, which was to cheat on his wife, to go to massage parlor. And you know what happens at massage parlors. And, it's just that nonstop pleasure-seeking gratification broke down his willpower, and he succumbed to it. And he eventually had to face his childhood trauma. That's where it all started. And he's vulnerable now, and he's transparent, and he shares his story with the world, just so other men, don't go through life hiding their pain. Men and women, I've had I had one woman who reached out to me and say, she became addicted to pornography as well. So it can happen to any of us. So, and just like these, like Terry was open about his life to help the next person. That's what I'm doing with the podcast. I just want, and I can't have every guest be 6'3", 230 pounds, and blue eyed like myself. You know, uh, I need guests of a wide range to make it exciting, and that's what I'm trying to do. I had a male jail guard on, Derek, early on. I've got a female jail guard lined up now. She saw the post on Derek, and she wrote me a private message. I thought of injuring myself on the job as well. I was like, really? Let me get the female perspective of that. And I'm I've got, oh boy, I'm looking at my list right now. I've got a wide range. I made videos on microdosing to treat uh, depression and anxiety. And guess what? A woman from Florida who does just that, she facilitates microdosing, is going to fly up and talk about it. Excited for that. I got a woman who was involved in a narcissistic, horrible marriage. I'm gonna have one of my college roommates come on. We could spend the whole hour plus talking about drunken stories if we could remember any of them, because we got plenty of them. But he's gonna come on. Both of his brothers. There was 3 children in the family. Both brothers committed suicide. Really. I'm going to have someone who's gay come on, talk about their childhood abuse and their life and how tough it is for them and how tough it has been to be gay, and just wants to share their story. I just had a trans woman start following me, and I said, "You want to come on and share your story someday? We'll set it up." I want to hear a struggle. I can only imagine if you feel trapped in the wrong body and you start transitioning, the struggles that you have to go through with that, and how people look at you and how society looks at you. And I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to judge your sexuality. I'm not here to judge where your addictions led you down to, what crimes you committed. So many people like to judge. Man, I don't want to be judged. We know what I did, and I'm not here to judge anybody else. I'm here to free people and to educate all of you, and to give valuable tools for healing. I'm going to have my godson, my nephew, come on. He quit college, is going into his senior year. He decided to quit college and start a business. And the struggles he went through and the family dynamic, what they thought of that decision. And the dude's crushing it, multi-million-dollar business now. So I want him to share that with you. And on and on and on it goes. I have a dude flying in from Utah for this Monday, a guy flying up from Atlanta for this Monday. I've got one of the hosts of Flip and Flop on HGTV, Steve Cedarquist, coming on in a couple weeks. I got the kickbox champion of Britain, Britain's toughest bouncer, Paul Venus, coming on. And just on and on it goes. So we're going to give you a wide range of guests, and got to keep it exciting, got to keep it interesting. And I just want to hear from all walks of life, different nationalities, different religions, what you struggle with, how you've overcome, and give everybody valuable tools. That's it for today. I think I've rambled long enough. Goodbye.